Melinda, so there's this new game that's coming out, and I really want to get it.
Don't you already have a ton of games?
I mean, I wouldn't say a ton, but I got a few.
Have you even played all of the games you have?
She had a point. It seemed silly that I had all these games, but I've only played like 10 of them. So I made a deal to myself that before I buy another game, I'm going to play each and every one of these games. This was a game I purchased shortly after playing Ghost of Tsushima. I had seen a lot of comments that a lot of mechanics in that game came from this one. So, to fill my void after I beat Ghost of Tsushima, I purchased Assassin's Creed Odyssey and had never played it since. But that was about to change. And just as a warning, I am going to talk about the game in its entirety, so there will be spoilers for those who haven't played it yet. The first thing I noticed and appreciated about this game was the accurate representation of Greek people. Seeing the battle of the 300 Spartans with a king that looks like this and a little less, Scottish, was a refreshing take against the common Hollywood misconception of ancient Greece. The second thing I noticed was this funny animation. I'd like to think they actually got the title wrong. Even though it says Assassin's Creed, I think what Ubisoft really meant was spear in ass, because that's how a lot of these malakas died. The last Assassin's Creed game I played was probably Assassin's Creed 3 back in 2012. Having not really kept up with the series, I was impressed to see how far the game has come. The first few hours reintroduced some familiar aspects to me, such as the synchronizing points,
I should probably not climb on this.
parkour, and of course, assassinating. After about 4 hours in, I felt like I was finally getting used to it all once again, until... Yeah, that's right, my first few hours were just the beginning. The game expanded into all this other shit, like conquest battles, ship battles, cultists, bounty hunting, animal hunting. It all just felt like...
Too much f***ing shit on me.
What?
It's too much f***ing shit on me. I can't breathe.
The story itself, however, was pretty intriguing. I chose to play as Kassandra and was really glad I made this choice.
Sometimes you're better sending a woman anyway.
I felt that Michael Antonakos' performance as Deimos was a lot more threatening. He certainly played a better villain.
The traitor is dead!
Moreover, I felt that Melissanthi Mahut's portrayal of Kassandra was outstanding as I explored the character arc. I couldn't imagine these two roles being switched. As I continued to play, I really wanted to do what was best for the story. Rather than always just choosing the clear moral options, I took the role-playing aspect of this RPG beyond more than just the builds. I played Kassandra as a bit of a jerk sometimes, because it felt natural that someone of her traumatic background wouldn't always be some knight in shining armor.
No, your moaning won't get the job done any faster. I'll kill the bandits and get your f***ing wood back.
I know you will. Take your time finding them. I trust you. All right, I did something.
I made tough choices, threatened a lot of people, and especially didn't flirt at every opportunity.
Well, if that isn't enough to satisfy you, I will.
I'm only here for information on the cult of Cosmos. And drachmi. Lots of it.
There was one time that flirting felt appropriate, and it was when Kassandra was training with Roxana.
What? You don't want to spend more time with me?
It felt like these two naturally belonged together, and it didn't feel out of place to develop a relationship.
This time with you has been... I don't know what to say.
Say no more. In a strange way, I see my own reflection in you.
Yes. We've only just met and yet we have a connection.
You're a unique creature, Kassandra.
Two warrior women faced with destiny seemed like a romantic story worth exploring. However, I ultimately knew what would happen in the end as Kassandra and Roxana were training to fight in the arena against each other.
Only one of you can walk away a legend.
The stakes were clear from the beginning, Kassandra. Don't do this. I'm so close.
It was such an enticing moment for me, as the one relationship Kassandra made had to come to an end.
Enough! The battle must end now!
No. Roxana, we decide how this ends, not him.
However, they gave the option not to fight.
I'm beginning to think there are things more important than riches and glory.
And as tempting as that was, I had to remember this is a Greek tragedy here.
I'm here to win.
So be it.
I really love that this game made me feel like I was actually in ancient Greece, with its historical locations I dream of visiting one day, historical figures whose names I've been pronouncing wrong my whole life,
Socrates, Pythagoras, Leonidas.
and a Cyclops. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm playing an Assassin's Creed game, and not much of anything really needs to make sense. So in this world, Minotaurs are real, Atlantis was real, superheroes were real, and Cyclops were real. Cyclopses? Cyclopi? Anyway, not saying that that wasn't cool. It was actually really cool. It just caught me off guard and reminded me of how weird the Assassin's Creed lore really gets. And I do mean weird in the best way possible. Anyway, I know the Atlantis arc was actually a DLC, but as someone who's playing through this for the first time, I was really tempted to play this storyline in tandem with the main storyline. I feel like this felt more aligned with previous Assassin's Creed games, as it mixed sci-fi elements with historical fiction, something that's always intrigued me about the franchise to begin with. Perhaps I'll do another video about the DLC in the future. On top of the Atlantis arc, I really wanted to find the Ghost of Cosmos. I thought that hunting them down would just come naturally with the story, but as I felt like I was getting closer to the end of the game, I saw that there were still a lot of cultists that needed to die. Next thing you know, I just started hunting more and more cultists, completely ignoring the main storyline. The more progress I made, the more I got introduced to more journeys, such as the legendary animal hunts and deciphering the messages in the cave. It felt like no matter how far I got into the game, I was only scratching the surface of this world. There was just so much to do.
I can't do this. We did way too much.
You can do this.
There's too much shit on me. I can't.
I don't think I've played a game this expansive since The Witcher 3. Thank goodness there was no Gwent in ancient Greece, otherwise I'd never finish this story. With nearly 50 hours of gameplay, I really wanted to push myself to at least finish the story. Though everything else in the game would take me forever, I felt that if I could at least finish the main story, I'd be happy. During the final quest of confronting Deimos, I was legitimately on the edge of my seat. I originally was not aware of there being multiple endings, and I began thinking back on all that I have done.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
I killed Nikolaos, I killed Stentor, I killed the monger in the middle of the street. Like I said earlier, I played Kassandra like the hardened gangster she is. Although I didn't get what some would call the best ending, I'd like to try and rephrase that as the happiest ending. The ending that I got felt more right for me, despite not having a full dinner table at the end. Having only survived the Odyssey with Merini and Alexios felt like a more fitting ending. I like that it didn't work out perfectly for Kassandra in every scenario. I like that I played her with some flaws, as it made those moments of guilt feel real to me.
I thought we were friends.
You're not who I thought you were. You were raised Spartan. You should know how to be loyal.
I like that her change came naturally from being a true Misthios in the beginning,
You made the mistake coming here.
but having a change of heart as she discovers more of the world.
To moving forward.
And I'm glad that although she made mistakes, she got the best ending she could. All in all, I really loved this game. Though I've only played the original 3 Assassin's Creed games, this is hands down my favorite one. Although there was tons of stuff to do, to the point where it seems like I'd never completely finish this game, none of the side quests felt like a chore. Each side character and their stories were very interesting. And again, Melissa Matante Mohut's performance of Kassandra was truly exceptional. She truly brought the character to life for me, and gave probably one of the best performances I've ever seen in a video game. She was tough and hardened,
I'll run my spear through your throat for the pain you've caused.
but definitely hit the emotional points where it counted.
Earth, Mother of all, I greet you.
If they were to ever remake Wonder Woman, they definitely need to consider her. Anyway, will I play this game again? Hell yeah. There's still so much to do, but with the story completed, I can, at the very least, say to my wife, yes honey, I've played that game.